butter is a normal good. It is in joint demand with bread and joint supply with buttermilk. The demand for butter increases because of a rise in consumer incomes. So what are the effects of this increase on the prices of bread and buttermilk? Okay, so many pieces of information here. Let's break that down. Butter is a normal good. That kind of correlates to the YED, or income elasticity of demand. It being a normal good means that it has a direct relationship between percentage change in income and percentage change in quantity demanded. So that means that if incomes increase, its quantity demanded for butter will increase, right? So it says down here too that the demand for butter increases because of a rise in consumer incomes, which like checks out with YED. Now it says that butter, right? So butter is the main character. Let's write that up here. So butter is in joint demand with bread. Now joint demand means that if the demand for butter increases, then the demand for bread will also increase because the demand increases together for them. That's why joint, they increase together. This could also be similar to the relationship of complements. And you know what, they might be complements actually, because butter and bread, they go together, right? So complements basically means that the two products go together, like you'll demand them together, because if you buy bread, then you'll probably also buy butter to spread on the bread to eat it together, right? So you consume it together. So that is a relationship of butter and bread. Now it says here that it is also in joint supply with buttermilk. Joint supply with buttermilk. So this means that if the supply of butter increases, the supply of buttermilk will also increase. Because together, again, joint supply, they will increase together. So now, right, to get a clearer idea of this, let's just draw demand and supply curves for every single one of them, and then see how the curves shift, right? So let's just draw that real quick. Now this is the main character. This is for butter. This is like Butter's demand and supply diagram. Downward sloping curve is D, upwards is S, and y-axis is P for price and Q for quantity. And now this one will be buttermilk, which is in joint supply. So let's just write J supply so that we know. So again, downward is demand, upward is, we'll just keep it like that. Upward is supply, P and Q, and this one is bread, right? Joint demand. Downward is D, upwards is S. And then P and Q. Right, so what happens again? The demand for butter increases. Okay, demand for butter increases. So that means that the demand curve shifts to the right because demand increases, right? Okay, so now let's see what happens actually. If the demand for butter increases, now look at that, all right? The price, the equilibrium price increases, and the equilibrium quantity demanded and quantity supply both increase, right? So this is Q, this is the new QD, this is a new, where is this? New P. So if you look at that, the quantity demanded and quantity supplied, or like the equilibrium quantity, increases. So that means that let's look at buttermilk first. Since this is in joint supply, because the quantity of butter increases, like the supply of butter increases. So that means since it is in joint supply with buttermilk, the supply of buttermilk will also increase. So that the supply curve will shift to the right to indicate an increase in supply, right? And for bread, because it is in joint demand, and as quantity demanded increases, because equilibrium quantity increases, right? So both of these increases. Since they are in joint demand, it means that the demand curve for bread will increase because demand overall increases. So the demand curve will also shift to the right. All right, now it says that what are the effects of this increase? Now it asks us for the price of bread and the price of buttermilk. So you can just pinpoint the equilibrium price for buttermilk, which is right here, and the new equilibrium price is here, which means that it has decreases, right? For buttermilk at least. And then for bread, pinpoint the equilibrium price and then the new price, and the equilibrium price has increased, right? So now what we're looking for is buttermilk price decreases and bread price increases. All right, let's look at bread first. Bread price should increase, so it could be either one of these. And then buttermilk price decreases, so it's this one. So these two match up, so 10 is C, and that is correct.